Okay. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. So, what should you expect at an audition? You should expect to show up and you're behind a screen usually these days. I don't know if that's the case in Chicago. Okay. So you're not going to see anybody. Nobody's going to see you, and don't expect anybody to clap or say, "Hey, that was great." You walk in there, you're going to feel like you've been just judged, and you have no idea what anybody's thinking. So you'll walk out paranoid. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. You're doing beautifully. You come back a second time, you do that again, same thing. You probably won't know anything. You get to the finals, then usually, I don't know if the screen disappears. In LA, we don't have a screen in the last, because, well, we just don't. But also, I personally like to see the person that's playing because it's part of your, so dress well, okay, that's important. It makes a difference. Yeah. Sometimes people don't realize it. So they say, oh, that makes no difference. Maybe it doesn't, but it does to some people. And you know, a jury, you don't know who's on their jury, and you don't know what they're thinking, and you don't know what baggage they bring to their job either. So always present yourself well, and so that psychologically, don't get discouraged when you don't get feedback, because it's part of our job not to say anything to the candidates. We shouldn't do that. I mean, it's very hard because sometimes I walk through the hall and I see people there, and so I mean I say hello, but that's all. But other people don't walk past you like that. Don't let any of that distract you. You're there to play your thing. All right. So universally, I think that everybody will always want to see how well you play your instrument, how good a musician. Now what does that mean to people? It means different things, but they're going to want to make sure that you count accurately. They want to make sure that you play in tune, and then they want to see that you observe and respect everything that's on the page. Your dynamics, what's short, what's long, what's legato, whatever. So in a certain way, you want to be very academic in respecting everything that's on that page. Now that being said, now here's where I part company with a lot of other people. Some people want to see that and only that. They want to just see that you can do what's written. I'm interested in seeing what's coming out of who is this person? Are they, quote unquote, musical? Do they have something to express? Do they know what they're playing? Do they, does it have character? Especially if you're going to go into an opera house, you have to understand the context, a dramatic context. That's not optional in my opinion. Now, do people come in and collect their paycheck to just play the notes? Yes. Do I particularly respect that? No. I respect people who come in and commit themselves to the process. And what I also notice is that the people who really love their jobs in opera houses are the ones who get thoroughly immersed in the drama, because that's the exciting part. It's music and drama. And so that's important to me. So I mean, if I listen to someone and say, hey, does that guy know what he's playing? I mean, does he know what's happening? You know, how can you play it that way if you know what's happening? So first thing I would say, when you study these things, study anything, Shostakovich Symphony, get a score. It's not enough just to have your part. Get a score so you know everything else that's going on. This is especially important to brass instruments who are actually sitting there counting rests for a long time, because you can easily be detached from the whole. You know, I don't play that movement. You know. Okay, that's a temptation. So we want you in it, all right? Now, and when it comes to any opera has a text. All operas have texts. They all have a story, and I would want you, if I were hiring you, I would want you to tell that story while you're playing. I mean, I work with my own orchestra like this. Yeah. So let's start with Otello. All right, you want to play me those two excerpts?
Again?
I'm going to play, yeah, the first one. Now I'm going to conduct you now.
Okay.
Okay, your tempi were pretty good. So good. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. You have any idea what's happening on stage?
This is the bar fight?
Bar. Okay, it's usually in a piazza, but they've been drinking. Yeah, he's got that. He got that part. There's alcohol.
Yeah.
There's alcohol involved. Yeah. Okay. So there's a fight.
Yeah.
And Iago, whom you probably know, Iago, the great evil spirit of this thing, he has incited these other characters to fight with each other in order to make a ruckus, in order to wake up Otello, whom he hates, on his wedding night and to disturb him. Okay, so this is at the absolute, and this is the climax. This is the end of the fight, because he comes in and he says, "Abbasso le spade," pop, put down your swords. So you're gonna. One thing I would say to you is, don't taper off at the end of this, as in, it goes right up to, it's like jumping off a cliff. It's gonna be sharp like that. Now, I'd like you, I want to see how much volume you can give me without getting longer. That's what I want. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And I usually ask for a crescendo in the last two bars.
Yeah.
Like that. And then end dry. One more time. One more time.
Sorry.
Tell me when you've run out of breath. Right? Nice catch. You get really good at that. You can become a conductor and follow tenors.
Yeah.
All right, ready to go again? 1, 2, 1, 2. That's good. All right? Feel confident with that?
Yeah, I just need to work out the breathing a little bit more comfortably.
Okay.
So that I don't...
I can't help you with that. See, the nice thing about being behind a screen is no one would know that happened.
Right.
All right, now play me the next one.
All right.
This is more important. Okay, now first thing you have to do is that every note has to be equally short. That has to be very clear. All right, try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so the first note has to be more accented. It's not about being louder. It has to have more impact. Bam, pop, pop, pop. All right. Okay. Now, one thing is, Verdi didn't write this for modern trombones.
Yeah.
You know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The rest of you should know. They were all pistons, like that, which is why this is so hard. That's the type of clarity you're after. Now, have you played any of the late Verdi operas? Have you played the Requiem?
Yeah.
That was written for pistons. You've got passages in Simon Boccanegra. So the challenge until the old music people, the ones that redid the Baroque, until they move their way into the late 19th century and they get a hold of Verdi operas, they'll probably make people start playing on piston trombones again. But that is actually your ideal. Right. In other words, if you can imagine the kind of clarity that should be your ideal. So you don't want your rounded sound here. You want it. For me, it's a little bit it's too soft-grained. This is a violent moment. You know what's happening here?
Yeah, this is when Otello is convinced that his lover is cheating on him, and
his wife.
Wife, yes.
Has cheated.
Has cheated.
Past tense.
Yes, past tense. And that he swears vengeance.
He's not quite up to the vengeance yet, okay. But this is a outburst of fury at Iago, who is provoking him and pretending to be his friend. Okay, so this has to be, the word fulmine precedes this, has to be like a lightning. It's a reference to lightning striking. Don't go so fast that you can't articulate. Okay. All right? And it has to be anger, fury. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Try this. Bam, ba, ba, ba. It's different from ba, 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 ba. Ram, ta, 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 ta. Yeah. 1, 3, 4. Now, suppose I ask you to play everything fortissimo and not to come back in order to make a crescendo. Remember, there's four of you going here. Yeah, I want more definition. Yeah. Okay, so what I wanted you to imagine is 3 bars where every note is accented equally. Every note is equally fortissimo. There's no direction in this phrase. I mean, don't try to make it a music, like, oh, let's see, we'll make music now, we'll make a phrase. Ba, 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 ba. It's not that. It's an output. Okay, good. Last thing I would do is really work it slowly so that the minor seconds are really clear. The clearer you are, the more impressive you will be when you get there. Okay, good. Keep going.